It is time. Hello, everybody. Joe Clone here, back with another LEGO Star Wars review video. Today, if it isn't obvious, we will be reviewing my newly constructed Victory Class Star Destroyer. And oh my god, I am so happy with how this came out. This is easily one of the biggest Star Wars vehicles, one of the biggest LEGO Star Wars vehicles I have in my collection, and probably one of the biggest custom builds I have ever done in all of LEGO. So I'm just super happy with how this came out. And I'm sorry to be mobile here and not on my main stage, but this thing is too big for my camera to be stationary on my main stage. And I just wanted to show you it in all of its glory before I start breaking it down. But yeah, this took me like 2 days. And I know you're going to say you didn't really custom build it because it was already sort of semi-built from the original set, but I'm going to totally disagree with you because I added way more pieces to this thing, and it just has way more features and just looks so much better, and that's all because of my custom build additions. So it is my custom build, guys. As you know, Joe Clone don't give one damn. But I don't know why I'm getting angry. Cause this thing came out so great. I'm getting angry because it really was a hard thing to build. Like, for some reason the pieces on it, because it's an older Lego set and it wasn't with the rest of my wasn't with the rest of the giant Lego lot that I newly found. It was just by itself, so the pieces weren't like connecting to other pieces. It was a whole process, and I'm just glad with the product we have here. I'm not gonna ramble anymore. Let's just get right into the review. And I actually don't think I could review this on the main stage in this stationary form. Because if I zoom out anymore, my quality will get really bad. But it just goes to show you how big this thing is. Like, I can't even fit it all into one frame. But I think I'm gonna put it back where it was, and I'm gonna point out the internal features on that sort of staging area, and then bring it back here to show you the features up close, because I don't think I could do it just like this. So here we go, guys. We're going to get into the review right now. And honestly, to begin with the review here, the first feature I'm going to talk about, because it really has it's not really a function in the Star Wars ship itself, but it's, again, like LEGO does, this fantastic handle that I obviously kept so I could easily transport this behemoth. And I'm holding on to this so tight right now, like literally, I'm like almost white knuckles holding on to this that tight, because if I drop it, I don't know what mental state I will be in. But this handle is fantastic. It's how I've been able to transport this behemoth, and I just thought you could see me moving it. And it also for like any videos or anything, like it's literally like a Star Destroyer flying over, just how you'd see a Star Destroyer flying. So that handle is fantastic. I'm going to put it down right now, though, because I do not want to drop it. Okay, here we are, landed again. As you know, like we do here, I'm just going to go from the outside to the inside, so let's begin. Alright, and to just give you some history and the inspiration that I really took for building this, at first, and I'm gonna go a little quick here, I'm watching the clock. At first, I was really going for an acclimator because I've seen Another YouTuber I watch make a custom acclimator, and I just thought it's a really cool ship. And since the original Venator set that this was obviously was super downscaled, I thought making it the acclimator would make more sense, because the acclimator is a smaller Star Destroyer class ship, way smaller than the Venator and Star Destroyers we see in the Empire. So I was really going for the acclimator, but I just didn't get the bridge right, and I like the bridge too much to construct a new one. So I actually watched a video. I've mentioned this YouTuber's channel a few times in some of my other review videos. Red5. I watched his video on breaking down every class of Star Destroyer, and he talked about the acclimator, obviously, but then he talked about the Republic Victory class Star Destroyer, which was a Star Destroyer that resembled the Imperial ones a little bit, but it was actually before the Imperial Star Destroyers, and it looked almost exactly like this, with the bridge like that and the pointed nose here. So, and they were mostly gray. I know I still have some of the dark red, but they were Republic Star Destroyers first, and honestly they were sort of a precursor to the Imperial Star Destroyers. So that's why I call it the Victory class Star Destroyer. And I really should say this is Joe Clone's custom Lego built Victory class Star Destroyer, but I just wanted to give you my inspiration for the look I was going for on this build. But now we'll go over the features finally. Alright, so to get the Victory Star Destroyer look, I had to make it way wider because it was way too skinny. The bridge looked ridiculous on the original skinny scaled down Venator model. So I added all of these plates here, obviously, from the back. I'm trying not to get my shadow in the way. Here we go. I added all of these. I'm sort of going from the front to back here, but all of these panels here, even under here, right here, all of these wing pieces back there, over here. This whole base plate right here added on both sides, just because I needed to widen. Like you could see, if I didn't have that there, it would look just so goofy and small. All the way to the back here, added all of this, and it's the same on the other side, so I'm sorry if I don't show you that side, but it is the same on the other side. I added all of these base plates here to just get that wide look, and I feel like I achieved it very, I was going to say very good, which was doesn't make sense in English language. I think I achieved it perfectly, the look I was going for with the Victory class shuttle. But I showed, I'm sorry guys, this thing has taken me a long time to get right. I've gone through many different versions of it, and even the things inside of it, I've gone through so many versions of it, so I'm a little tired. But that's basically the body of this thing fully gone through. Oh, I didn't even go to the back. Let's go to the back. And on the back there, I kept the engines, and all I really had to do was build this here, which Victory class Star Destroyers have. But that's really all I did for the body. Now, the last part of the body I'm going to go over is the bridge. And sorry if you see my collection sporadically thrown about here. I needed this case for this review, so that's why a lot of stuff is on the floor. But the bridge was... I honestly built the bridge first because obviously the bridge on the original set wasn't even a bridge at all. It was just these two spires. It was just these two things on spires, which is not a bridge at all. No figures could go inside of them, and that's not how it is at all in the actual universe. So I built a bridge that could actually house two figures in it because... Yeah, and I know it's still a little scaled down, but just give me a break, guys. But I wanted to. You guys know me. I like play features. I like more figure storage. So I figured build a bridge that could store actual figures in it, and I think it looks fantastic. It's actually easily detachable, and I'll show you that feature in a second. But this is completely custom built, and this was honestly a hard thing for me to build as well, just because I wanted to get it right, and I'm probably still going to tweak it after this video. The shape I'm completely happy with. I'm completely happy with most of the body. The bridge I might tweak a little bit, but the angled pieces there, I use so many different pieces from so many different sets, guys, to achieve that, the slopes and the angles, and the only really thing I kept from the original bridge was this piece here, and the Victory class Star Destroyers only have the one sort of spire sticking out of their bridge, so that's why I kept it like that. But I'll bring you around here. There we go. Nice and angled, and look at that from the back. So nice. What a profile. But I was just talking about that bridge feature, and let me show you that. Okay, I got a little stationary mount here. So I said the bridge could be detachable, and it could. You literally just lift it up like that. There we go. And as you can see, the bridge is off. I guess now that I have this in my hands, let's go over the bridge. I got my flash out here for this bridge review. So you saw I was able to take it off, and now let's look inside. Our first of the inside for this review. You know this is one of my favorite features in my sets. The seats could be taken out like so, because they're just placed on that little one stud plate there. And the seats swivel, and I actually could have two figures sit in them and still swivel at the same time. So that's why I have two seats here. But that's the seating. Let's get to the juice. Here is where I love doing control room details, if you haven't noticed already from a lot of my custom builds. I'm so glad I still had that piece from the original set, because that just is so awesome. That's like sort of the main motherboard of all the systems for the Victory Star Destroyer here. And yeah, on the other side we got some more panels. I sort of have an energy core. That's what I really thought there. Or I guess a generator there, and that's sort of the panel next to it that shows all the statistics and stuff. And here we have the radar station over there, as you could see, with that beautifully printed piece, and another dial on top of it, and some levers to pull, because why not? And yeah, you could fit two figures in here, but I think I could fit three. If I maybe sat a guy down back there, maybe I should just add another seat to put in back there. Ooh, I'm already getting ideas of how to tweak it, guys, even while doing this review. I also like how I use these column pieces here in the front, because they almost look like a smoked out window. So I'm really just happy with how that bridge came out. It really does look like the Victory Star Destroyer bridges. And yeah, you know what, there's no point in getting lazy. I put another figure in there just to show you that they could swivel with another guy in there. Like, look at that. That's so cool. So they could look at each different station, and they could even go back to back. Like, you see, guys, I thought of everything. Look at me. But you guys know I love features like that, and it allows for two more figures to be in the set itself. And I sort of see it as like, this is a massive ship, so you need at least two guys to man the main control room. So that's really why I put two seats here, and I love that they could swivel like that. But that is the main bridge, so let me show you how it connects back on. And you could sort of see with it off how I was going for an acclimator, because without the bridge it kind of looks like an acclimator, but now that I made it so pointed, I'm sticking with the Victory. But to attach the bridge back on. So, you know I love this feature for seating, but I thought I apply it here as well because for some reason the original set was built on uneven numbers. Like it's strange. Like this in here is like I don't want to say 5 wide, but it's uneven, and that for me is strange in a Lego set because Lego is really on strict like even numbers that there's actually plates for. Like it's so weird. Like I was either inches off or it was just so weird and so hard to do, and that's why I couldn't build this bridge structurally connected to the rest of the set because of that. So obviously, like I showed you before, I have my little loophole. I can't speak. My little loophole here where I do that one stud feature again, and as you could see, I'm gonna put it right in the middle here. Right there. And it connects on in one part, and it connects on in the second part. And it's a little loose, but once it's on, somehow, and I don't know how, it really doesn't come off, even when I use the handle. So I don't know how I've achieved this, but I'm very happy that I've achieved this. And even so, even if the bridge falls off and gets completely destroyed, the whole rest of the set is still okay. So I could live with that. If you know what you guys know what I'm saying. You guys are Lego builders out there. I could live with that. I could always build another bridge. But that is the whole main bridge and control room for my custom Victory Imperials. My custom Victory Star Destroyer. God, as you can tell, I'm very spent here, guys. My mind is thin right now, but it is all good. Just build, build. Good soldiers follow orders. But let's move on to the rest of the play features. All right, here. So like I said, I'm gonna point out what we're gonna go over here, and then I'm gonna bring it to the main stage so you could see it up close and in better detail. So to begin, we're gonna go over the storage here, which as you can tell right now, or I've seen in some shorts I posted, this thing holds so much stuff in it now with my customizations added. So first we're gonna go over the main troop. The main troop hold, I guess, is what I call it. Yeah, this cargo hold is the main troop hold right here, where all your troopers could go. Or not all, but where some other clones or any troopers could go. Okay, back on the main stage here. So, like I said, we're going to be going over the troop hold right now, and that is this compartment right here. And I'm going to go stationary again, just so you guys can see the transition. Okay, so you would lift the wing up slightly. You sort of just grab it any way you can. You lift it up and you slide it out. There we go. I was getting hooked on another feature in this ship that we're going to be talking about later, but here we go. There it is. I'm going to go into a bit more detail right now. All right, and there it is. And a nice... I don't have a lot of space in my staging area right now because of this thing being here. But now you could see it. And it fits 4 troops. I might make it so I might just put 2 more seats on either side here so it fits 4 more. But for now, I'm all right with this. And you get a weapon rack, so that's also very nice. But it fits 4 troopers just very comfortably in there. And you're going to go why'd you get rid of the bombing feature? Yeah, I didn't have. If I had the bombing feature Technic build still, I would have kept that there, but I didn't have it. So what I actually did was I looked up the instructions for this thing, and I looked up the instructions for that Technic bombing feature, but I just wanted the shape of the bottom so I could know how it fits into the sort of hole there snugly, and that's really all. That's how it was like the search was longer than the answer, so it was literally just this. I don't know what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5 box, I guess. That's wrong. I'm so god awful with build terminology like that, but you guys out there know what I'm trying to say. That's really all I needed was the dimensions here, and the rest was easy. It's really just a plate, 4 seats, and yeah. So, and it honestly, this thing had no other places to put figures on it before, so I thought adding that was very nice, and you could just, it comes out just like this, and you could have it be sort of a little command center or whatever when the ship lands. I don't know, whatever you want, or whatever I want, but you guys know I love interior space for figures, so I just love that I added this here, and it really didn't take away from any of the other badass features that I've done to this thing. So without further ado, you saw me take it out, you don't need to see me. I'm not going to finish that sentence, so you get the gist of this thing. That's the troop transport. Let's move on to some more exciting features. And before I go over just the next internal features, I just added these little Technic pieces to the laser cannons just to make them look like more heavy duty. So that's why they look a little different, and I actually like how they came out, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. All right, we're actually on the other side here because my last internal feature is on the other side, and it's the most exciting. But here we have the amazing heavy gun. And this thing could rotate 360 if it had the space to. Obviously, it doesn't here. And unfortunately, it used to be able to go to the other side, but with the build I have on the other side there, it really can't. So it's really just stationary to this side now, which is perfectly fine because I still have this. This is actually, I'm going over this next because this is actually one of the original builds from the original set that I kept because look how badass this gun is, man. It's just so awesome. And the fact that it moves under here perfectly fine, like, just so cool. Like, I could just imagine this gunner in space because clone suits are pressurized, so he could be outside. But he's just gunning down ships as they're in the battle, and I just think it's such a cool build, and I'm so happy I kept it because it just looks so cool under there, like, right? Like, look at that. He could shoot behind, like, that is such a cool build there. But that is the gun portion, or the heavy gun that this Victory class Star Destroyer has. Let's move on to the most exciting custom feature that I added to this thing. Alright, and I know I said I was going to be doing this on the other stage over there, but I'm right here. I could just point it out while we're right here. Obviously, if you haven't seen in some of the shorts I posted, this on the right side of the back, I actually added a little mini hangar bay for a scaled down, but a V19 Torrent. I'm so happy with how this custom build turned out. I've gone through many iterations of this as well. So the fact that I have a beautiful build and it fits in this thing still, because look, you can see it's perfectly in there. Fits perfectly in there. Just so awesome. I can't wait to show you guys. Let's get into it. All right, and as you know, obviously it has to come out, right? So you just slide it out. Oh, perfectly. Don't mind that noise. It's perfect. And this is actually what it looks like in its folded form. You're like, I know you're going like, that's a V19 Torrent? No way. But I needed it to be like this so it could actually fit in the Victory itself. But just watch this, guys. Here's where the fun begins. It comes out like this, like that. Then we go on the other side. Bada bing, bada boom. The first two wings, and then this is where it gets juicy. Oh my, oh my. I really hope you guys saw that. I wasn't even looking at what I was recording there. I was just looking at this thing. And voila, look at that. That is a very scaled down, but still a V19 Torrent. That iconic look that it has with that center wing there. So good. This thing looks so cool. Look at it flying by. So awesome. I actually built a stand for it as well, so I'm just going to put it on the stand real quick to show you guys. And there it is on the stand, which I can't believe I actually made a stand that works for this thing. And if, believe it or not, this thing actually took me longer to get right than the Victory itself. Because I had to completely make this from scratch. Obviously, it's not a complete 100% replica of a Lego V19 Torrent, but come on, guys. I had to scale it down to have it be able to fit in that ship, and I actually took inspiration from the OG Playscale Death Star that had a mini sort of scaled down TIE Advanced inside of it, which that's just insane because in the actual universe, these Star Destroyers had hangar bays that carried starships like the V19 Torrent in them. So that's why I sacrificed the mobility of that heavy gun to have the feature of a hangar bay with a mini V19 Torrent in it. And it's just such an iconic ship with that iconic look. And I'm just so happy with how it came out. I'm just going to give you a little spin here just to show you it. And this took me so long to get right. This alone took me 2 days working on this little thing. I've never worked on something this small in Lego for so long, but it works so good. I'm so happy with how this came out. I greebled as hard as I could, guys. It looks, I honestly don't care what anyone says, as you know. I think this looks fantastic for a mini scaled down version that folds up and goes into the Victory itself. So just so cool. And my big V19 Torrent was destroyed. Still, even though I found the new Lego lot, destroyed. So it's nice to actually have a V19 Torrent in my Lego collection right now. And honestly, I think this is one of the best custom build versions of one that I've seen, even though I know it's my own. Just by the fact that it folds up and goes into the ship and looks this perfect when it's unfolded is just amazing. And I'm patting myself on the back here because I've never worked on something this small, because it's pretty small for a starship. But again, I had to scale. It had to be that small. But I've never worked on something in Lego that's this size for this long. So I'm just super happy with how it came out. Just look at it. And there's even a pilot in there, guys. Even a pilot in there. But I kind of did a quick review of it right now because I might just do a whole mini review of this alone. So if you see that around the corner, you'll know why, because I'm just in love with my design here that I've done, and I can't believe that I've achieved this, guys. I really can't believe it, but that is the V19 Torrent that comes with my custom Victory Star Destroyer. Let's move on to even more features. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go mobile for the last feature here, and that feature is the only thing that was really actually intact, other than the heavy gun, but the only thing that was still intact, the main hull of this set. And I obviously kept it because it was really just the biggest area for figures to be held, so why not keep it in? Why destroy it? But let's take a look inside. I actually wanted the flash before we did this, guys, but look what we have in here. We have sort of, actually I could hold it up with the camera here, but we have I use the same shock troopers again just because I thought it only fits because this is Palpatine's main quarters on the ship. And as you can see, Palpatine is sitting there. And the shock troopers are, they've brought Joe Clone in. Joe Clone's been captured, guys. I know, sad news. I really hope he makes it out. I don't know if he knows that Palpatine is the main Sith Lord yet, though, so he's in for a rude awakening. He could take out the shock troopers, but I don't know if he could take out Sidious. I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but as you could see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 figures in here. I forgot how to count for a second. And in the original, you really weren't able to fit more than 3. I literally just put a base plate just down in that main area, just so more figure where all of the shock troopers and Joe Clone are standing, just so you could have 5 figures standing there, because it wasn't like that before. That's really the only thing I added on this part of the set. It's really the only custom feature I added. Just a simple base plate, and you have 5 more figures to fit in this thing. Amazing. Let's just do the count while I have this open. There's 6 in here, 2 more on the main bridge, 8, 1 pilot in the V19 Torrent, 9, 1 gunner on the big heavy gun, 10, and 11, 12, 13, 14 because of the troop quarters. 14 figures could fit in this thing, guys. 14. Before, it was not more than 10 on the original set. But 14 figures fit in this thing now because of my customizations. And I'm just so happy because, again, 14 figures could fit in it, and I didn't sacrifice any of the menacing looks that it has. So I'm just so happy with this set, guys. But that's really it for all the features, so let's move on to the final lineup. And I'm going to go back to the other stage, but I just wanted to show you it right here on the main stage because the lighting is so good here. It's better than the other one, but that's the Victory Star Destroyer and the custom. They're both custom, and the V19 Torrent together on the main stage. Look at that, guys. Look at that. I'm so happy with how these came out. There it is back here on the big stage. We're actually on the floor because the thing is so big. Just look at the shape. I'm just so happy with the outside, and I'm even more ecstatic with the inside of this thing. Like I said, this thing really couldn't fit more than 8 figures in it in the original set. Now it fits 14, and it looks amazing. It looks so menacing. And LEGO really hasn't built, or they don't really do a lot of Star Destroyer sets. Obviously the UCS Venator, and they've done normal Imperial Star Destroyers, and I think they did Vader's Super Star Destroyer, but either in UCS or mini scale. But other than that, like, we really don't see a lot of the other models, like the Victory model or the Acclamator. Like, there's go watch Red 5's video on every class of Star Destroyer in Star Wars, and then you'll believe what I'm saying. But that's why I really just, I have a badass custom-built LEGO Victory class Star Destroyer, and I'm just so happy about it. I'm just going to go show you all the underneath features again. There's the gun, beautiful. Cargo hold, or not cargo hold, the trooper hold there. The Torrent all folded up in there. That alone, I'm probably going to do a little mini review video for that, guys. Just because I'm that obsessed with it, I'm sorry. But even the guns look better. Like, this thing is amazing. Just look at that right there. Amazing. But that's about it for this review, guys. this took me 4 days to get right. Really just strict, just trying things, pulling it apart, putting it back together. Even the torrent too, just hard work here. Um, but yeah, that's about it for the review. This was Joe Clone's custom Lego Victory Class Star Destroyer. And oh boy, I wouldn't want to see this flying over my home on my planet. So, uh, thank God I'm from Camino. But that's that's a review. As you know, I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in this universe. And I thank you for joining me on the journey. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.